Hey folks, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today we've got an unboxing video. Well, I've got 3 knives that I recorded an unboxing video for day before yesterday, but the whole video was entirely out of focus. So I'm going to show you those 3 knives first. Unfortunately, I got to talk a little bit first about CBSA. I haven't talked about them for a while, so this is especially for Canadians. If you're not Canadian and you don't care about our import stuff, I'll put a timestamp on the bottom of the screen right here where you can skip to see the unboxing stuff. Canadians, please continue to join the fight against CBSA. CBSA is Canada Border Services Agency. They are the people that are in charge of deciding what can come into Canada and what can't. They're supposed to be protecting Canada, protecting Canadians. And one of the things that they're supposed to do is enforce laws. And so in Canada, we've got knife laws, like we can't have balisongs, those are butterfly knives. We can't have push daggers, and there's a few other things. But what they've decided on their own, not in accordance with Canadian knife law, that most flipper knives are illegal, and most folding knives, they are calling gravity knives or centrifugal knives, which means when you flick your knife like this, if the blade comes open without you pulling on it at all, just taking the body and going like that, they're calling that a centrifugal knife. That's not in accordance with Canadian law either, and they're taking knives away from us. Knives that are legal. The thing is, CBSA isn't answerable to anybody, not really. The Liberal government, our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, promised us when he first took office that he was going to put in an accountability layer, somebody who holds CBSA to account. He's not done that at all. Fair enough to say, previous governments, conservative governments, haven't done that either. And so we need to be pushing for that, especially at this election time. I want you to talk to your MP, the people that are trying to be elected coming up. Tell them we must have accountability for Canada Border Services Agency. And it's not just about knives, it's about all kinds of things. They have basically carte blanche. They can do anything they want to anybody coming into the country while they're on CBSA property, in a CBSA building. They can hold you for almost any reason, for almost any amount of time. There's very few, a lot of our rights that we have as Canadians are gone when you're at the border. I don't know if you know this or not, but it is true. When you're at the border in a CBSA building, they got the right to do all kinds of things that you just can't stop. They can order a strip search for very frivolous reasons if they want to. And you can't fight it. There's nothing you can do. They need to be held to account. Now, regarding knives, there is a lawyer, I think they're in Toronto, who's got lots of knife experience. They fought a lot of knife cases, and they want to fight CBSA specifically on flipper knives and other knives like that the Canada Border Services Agency is calling illegal when our actual knife laws don't call them illegal. Join that fight, please. There was about a little less than a year ago, there was a petition to the House of Commons that was being started. I thought about that as well. I talked to my member of parliament before that got started. He said, that'll go nowhere. There's no sense in doing that. But somebody did one anyways, and it flopped. Nothing happened as a result of that petition. But if we fight them in the courts, they have to listen to the judges, the people that decide if our laws are constitutional or not, or if our agencies are behaving or not. So there is a case that is being built, but they need money to fight CBSA. You can't just fight them for free. So please consider joining the fight. Go to the GoFundMe page and support them. I know GoFundMe is an American company, and so you have to donate in American dollars. I wish there was something like GoFundMe.ca, but there isn't. But please donate, help the fight to fight CBSA, to stop them from taking knives away. Because the first package I'm talking about is a package that got inspected by CBSA. They confiscated it in early January, and I finally got the package day before yesterday. Day before yesterday, Monday. It had their tape on it. Here it is. It's got their CBSA tape on it. They took at least one knife out of here. They never sent me a letter, nothing. They just took a knife and sent the package on its way. At least previously, they would send out letters saying, you know, we've taken a knife, it's being examined. So they had this package for almost 4 months before they got it to me, and they took stuff out without telling me. And there's no way of me, you know, fighting the case because I've got no case number. I've got no paperwork at all from them. There's nothing I can do. CBSA needs to be held to account. Please join the fight. Now, let's take a look at those 3 knives that I took out of this box that I did get because that video is totally out of focus. I'll look at these knives first, and then we'll take a look at the rest. We'll do this all on the tabletop. Keep watching. Okay, first there's this. This is an HX Outdoors knife. Comes in a nice little package. This is the HX Outdoors. This is the TD10B. It comes with a coated D2 blade. All of the knives that I've seen from HX Outdoors, I totally believe that they are the steel that they say they are. I really like what LTK is doing over at Love Them Knives. He's having a lot of budget knives tested to see if they are exactly what they say they are. Unfortunately, the tester who's doing that for him is in the United States. And of course, I could send knives to get tested, but sending them back to me would be potentially tricky again. I'd take that risk all over again about bringing them across the border. So there's this knife. We've got a case. HX Outdoors does this a few times. They've got rubber seals here. This time, I'm actually going to test if this thing's waterproof, if their cases are. I don't think they will be because it's kind of loosey-goosey kind of thing. But what we have is a D2 steel drop point blade, high flat grind, G10 handle scales, a steel pommel at the back, lanyard hole, back spacer. The detent is not terribly strong on this. The detent's a little bit loose, and I looked inside, and that's because the detent ball is barely visible, but it flips. And I think this is going to be a good knife to review. I've had some other HX Outdoor knives, a fixed blade that I think this thing is the folding version of. And I think TD01, I think it's called. And so, yeah, this is kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that. Another knife that I was sent this time, I believe this is from the Y-Start store on AliExpress. So I totally wrote these off. The guy told me he sent me some knives, and I thought maybe he didn't, or I thought, you know, they got lost in the mail. And they did get basically lost at CBSA in the mail. I finally got these. So I've got a link down below in the video section, in the description section, for the Y-Start knife store on AliExpress, who sent me a few knives for free. I've talked about him before, and so I do want to thank him. And I'll put a link to his store so that you can, you know, if you want to buy these knives, you can get them from him. This is a CH knife. This is the model CH3009. It's got like a harpoon style blade. The ricasso here in the flats, they're stonewash, but this blade is a near mirror finish. I know my fingers are so greasy that it doesn't look that great, but it's quite sharp. Titanium handle scale, frame lock, pretty good detent on it. Flips quite well. Very light in weight. Yeah, I got sores. Doing some dishes, a glass broke, and I have a few cuts. And so I just put this Band-Aid and some this clear medical tape on there so I can touch things without it bothering me. Otherwise, I'd be going, ooh, ah, all the time. They're not major cuts, but just enough to be annoying, right? And that's why, with that sore finger, I'm not pressing hard enough to flip it with my left hand. With my right hand, yeah, it flips just fine. So this is a decent flipper, from what I can tell so far. And then there's this. This is the LK5017. I think that's the number for it. This is a special version of it to celebrate the FIFA Cup for 2018 that was held in Russia, and France won. So France's name is right there. and Russia 2018, and then you've got this representative of a soccer ball, I guess. They're not just five-sided shapes inside a soccer ball. There's others as well, but this represents that. They say it's VG10. Now, I do know that the Y-Start JIN01 was tested by LTK, and it wasn't D2 like they claimed that it was. This knife is more expensive. This is in the $70 US range, and more expensive knives like this kind of price from China that have these kind of off brands, they tend to be what they say they are. The cheaper ones that claim to be D2 often are not, but I can't guarantee this is VG10. I would really like to send this to LTK to get tested, but I might never get it back then. So not because of LTK, but because of CBSA. It's got this weird arm here, but we'll talk about that on the review. It's actually a system to make it so that when the knife is closed, and this is a frame lock titanium, when it's closed, you can't open the knife when that little lock thing is down. Kind of interesting. A milled pocket clip. Interesting knife that I think is going to be fun to review. Now, you can get the same knife without this FIFA stuff on here at all. And different titanium here, beautiful titanium things that I'll show you a couple pictures that I was hoping I would get. Now, that's just awesome. So these are the three knives that were in that unboxing video that was totally blurry. My own fault. So we'll put these away and we'll open the next package. I've got two more packages. Okay, this is the next package. I'm using this CH knife to cut this tape. This was shipped from Burnaby, BC. Obviously, it's the M2R Warrior by Olight. It's got a 1500 lumen LED flashlight. It's a smaller one. I think it's probably 18650 batteries in here. You can take a look at those specs. Now let's quickly open this package and see what's in here. See how it looks. There you go, the M2R, and in the packaging, let's see, it's got a little pull tab here. It says pull here. Well, it doesn't say pull here, but you lift here, and so it's got a little bit of a pouch with it, and a button there. Oh, they got the button protected so it won't accidentally open up on you. There is a charging cable that comes with it. There is, whoa, a bit of a lanyard that comes with it. And that's a nice MOLLE compatible and belt loop compatible and hook. It's a MOLLE compatible and belt loop compatible kind of sheath system. That's kind of nice. I like that. And then this button is to open it up, and it's protected by that so you won't accidentally undo it, at least not easily. And let's open this up and take a look inside. Now, I think this is a 18650 battery in here. Yep, 18650 battery. Rechargeable, 3500 lumens. So, yeah, I'll get the full story on this and the review and everything soon. So let's put this aside. And now for this package, it's kind of big. So I'll unpackage it and then put the stuff on the tabletop for you. So in this box, there's a bunch of stuff that I ordered, and it was shipped to me, of course, by my friend in Nebraska, and we're going to take a look at each one of these pieces individually. Well, that's just empty bubble wrap. More empty bubble wrap. Oh, I did order some straws, some stainless steel straws. You know, I'm not going to review those or nothing. Maybe on my other channel, probably on my Goods, Gadgets, and Gear channel, I'll review these stainless steel straws. There's straight ones and bent ones. All right. This is most likely a Fura knife, Fura gear, which we very recently found that, at least I very recently found out, and LTK examined it. There was LTK D2, no, Love Them Knives examined a Fura Gear knife that said it was D2, and it wasn't. But this is not a Fura Gear. This is a no-name knife. They claim that it's S35VN, but what I was drawn to is this sort of gentleman knife style knife, and the finish on it looked really good in the pictures, and it looks awesome in person. There's tiny little milled lines across this section right there and across here. When I do the review, I'll do really nice close-up shots of all this. Stonewash, clip point blade, full flat grind, quite thin behind the grind. So this is probably titanium. There's a lock bar insert there. It's one of those front flippers. I can do better probably when my thumb's no longer in a bandage. So there you go. That's kind of cool. I like that. And I've got some real steel knives. But this isn't one that they sent me. This is one that I bought myself. This is the E571. And the reason I got this is because I had the S571 Pro with Elmax steel. Oh, I loved that knife. And back when I was having those major financial problems because of the tax man, I sold that knife to a friend, a few miles down the road. And I just loved that knife so much that I decided I would buy the budget version of it. But this is 14C28N. It's a Lianggang design, and this is, all stainless steel body, all black wash, the same basic knife. This is a little bit smaller than the S571 Pro, but I really wanted it. And so, because I really like the design and the overall look and feel of that knife. So there we go. And we'll do a full review of that guy in the future. And another real steel knife here. This is the Marlin. And this again is one that I bought myself. And I'll give you links for it as well. So the Marlin, this is going to be in my neck knife series. This is an Ostap Hell design knife. So it's a neck knife. Basically, you got the blade, and then you've got a paracord wrap here. And, it's a small knife to use for all kinds of tasks. Now, I forget what steel it is. It doesn't say on here what steel it is. It just says real steel there and Ostap Hell design there. And it's got some scratches or something on the side here. That's too bad. Obviously, that is from the sheath. It's a very tight fit in the sheath, but it doesn't. And yeah, that's where those scratches are from. And this is a very low-cost knife for real steel. It's not an expensive knife at all. So you've got the option to wear it on a belt, or maybe a scout style, or in the small of your back or whatever, or as a neck knife, a boot knife. This would work very well as a boot knife because it's so thin as well. So you'll be seeing these on my Goods, Gadgets, and Gear channel. And these knives and this flashlight will be reviewed on Canadian Cutting Edge in the upcoming weeks and maybe months. I do have 5 or 6 knives, 7. I do have a good handful of knives that I need to review still before I get to these. And but I might do these out of order. I might do this one next, simply because the guy from the store that sent this to me has waited so long, as I have. But won't be necessarily in order. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much for being a friend of Canadian Cutting Edge. It really means a lot to me. And I have been having bigger spaces between some of my videos due to some of my ongoing health issues. Starting to get sorted out, some of them. And I'm still waiting to see some specialists and things. But I'm making progress, and I'm maintaining a good attitude, and happy guy equals happy life. And your health is so dependent on your attitude. And if I didn't have such a good attitude, I think I'd be in a box in the ground somewhere. And some of you guys are wondering, especially if you're Patreon supporters, I'm doing the little video for the Patreon giveaway of the month from the knives from April. I've decided that I will include that best tech Praxis. The winner would be able to choose from that. Pretty much anything that I reviewed back in April. That video will be coming out on the weekend. So thanks for watching my little video. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Remember, guys, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.